Welcome to Midday Roundup. It's April 30th, 2025. I'm Maya Hayes.
And I'm Julian Vamps.
Today we're doing our deep dive into, well, really the intersection of AI technology and what's happening, or maybe not happening, in space.
Right, we'll be looking at how AI is getting woven into different sectors.
Yeah, so let's kick off with AI in the enterprise space. Cast AI, they recently pulled in $108 million.
That's a significant chunk of change.
Yeah, and it's for optimizing workloads, AI and other stuff using automation.
And their CEO made a point about, well, how much CPU memory and even GPU power is just sitting there, underused.
Which is interesting, right? If those core parts are so underutilized, it kind of suggests there's a lot of room for efficiency gains.
Absolutely. Just better allocation could mean, well, big cost savings. Think energy, less need for new hardware.
Yeah, it does make you wonder about their initial planning, though. Did they overestimate needs, or is it just inherent inefficiency in management?
Good question. And that kind of flows into UiPath. They've launched a platform for what they're calling agentic automation.
Agentic automation.
Okay. The idea is to bring together AI agents, physical robots, and human workers.
To make workflows more reliable
Yeah,
and scalable, I guess.
exactly. With a big underline on security and compliance. They're talking about AI understanding intent and, acting on its own within company systems.
That feels like a pretty big step. What are the potential upsides and, well, the downsides?
Well, the upsides are pretty clear. More efficiency, fewer errors on repetitive things, maybe automating more complex stuff. But the challenge is making sure these AI agents are actually reliable, predictable.
Right. Can they really handle tricky situations or unexpected stuff in complex software?
And the security piece is huge. Businesses have got to be sure these autonomous actions are locked down and, follow all the rules.
Okay, so related to that, Akka, they've got new deployment options for their distributed systems platform.
Specifically to help deploy this agentic AI stuff at scale.
And they're directly calling out problems like AI behaving unpredictably, limits in planning. Cost issues, too.
Yeah, which tells you that deploying this kind of truly autonomous AI isn't exactly straightforward yet. It's complex.
So the promise is there, but the reality check is hitting.
Pretty much. Fixing that unpredictable behavior, the planning limits, it shows we still need better AI reasoning, better decision-making for those really complex jobs. And having flexible deployment options just acknowledges that companies have different setups, different needs.
Okay, then there's Kanami. They showed off custom AI agents built with a visual sort of modular approach.
Yeah, their big push is on transparency, understanding how these agents are built, how they work.
Which seems really important, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Transparency builds trust. It helps with oversight. If you can see how the agent decides things, you can spot bias or errors more easily.
And they also mentioned integrating expert knowledge with the company's own data, creating agentic data workers.
Right. Grounding the AI in real domain expertise makes them more reliable, more relevant for the actual tasks.
Makes sense. Okay, shifting gears slightly, Structify raised $4.1 million.
For their AI platform.
Right. It uses a visual language model, DoRa, they call it, to automate pulling data from the web, unstructured data.
And then cleaning it, structuring it for businesses.
They're claiming, human quality extraction and addressing privacy by not needing logins. That could be huge, given how much unstructured data is out there.
Definitely. Processing unstructured data efficiently is a major headache for a lot of companies wanting to use AI. So if Structify can really do that well, and privately, it could unlock a ton of useful data for AI applications everywhere.
Okay, how about the legal world? Supio, an AI legal tech startup, seems to be getting some traction.
Yeah, reports suggest law firms are feeling the pressure to adopt AI for things like document analysis.
And adoption rates are actually picking up significantly in a field that's usually pretty cautious.
Well, think about it. Lawyers deal with mountains of documents. AI tools that can sift through that, find key info, that saves time, saves money.
So the pressure is likely about efficiency, handling bigger caseloads, maybe even offering better prices.
Probably all of the above. Though, fully integrating AI into legal practice still brings up complex questions about, like, legal reasoning and professional judgment. Those aren't solved yet.
Fair point. Then Amperity unveiled an identity resolution agent.
Ah, yes, tackling the disconnected and inaccurate customer data problem.
which they say is a major blocker for actually deploying AI effectively in many places. Data quality again.
It's foundational. AI models are garbage in, garbage out, right? If your customer data is messy or fragmented, your AI insights will be flawed.
So Imperity's trying to create that single, accurate view of a customer.
Which is critical if you want AI to actually work well for things like personalization, marketing, customer service.
And on the governance side, Witness AI 2.0 launched new features for regulatory compliance.
Things like AI observability, policy control, even for remote environments, and AI insider threat detection.
As AI gets everywhere, the need for that kind of oversight and security just grows, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Especially in regulated industries, being able to monitor AI, detect threats, it shows a growing awareness of the risks and the need to manage them proactively.
Okay, let's switch over to consumer applications. Meta tightened its privacy policy for those Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses.
Right. The Meta AI using the camera, that's now enabled by default unless you specifically turn it off.
And they removed the option to disable storing voice recordings, citing product improvement needs.
Yeah, that definitely raises some eyebrows regarding user privacy versus data collection for, training AI and making the product better.
It feels like less user control.
It is less control. It really highlights that ongoing tension with these increasingly smart consumer devices.
Meanwhile, Google's CEO confirmed they plan to integrate Gemini AI into iPhones,
By mid to late 2025, potentially.
which could give serious boost, right?
Yeah.
Handling more complex stuff.
Potentially, yeah. Putting a powerful AI like Gemini into iPhones could really change how capable virtual assistants feel. More complex tasks, more natural interaction. It also shows the intense competition and collaboration happening in consumer AI.
Interesting dynamic. Now, Duolingo launched a whole bunch of new language courses, 148 of them.
Great with generative AI.
Yeah.
Doubled their offerings, basically.
But there's been backlash because they plan to replace human contractors with this AI.
That's the report. Users are concerned about content quality. It highlights that trade-off.
So AI can scale content creation like crazy.
But people still seem to value that human touch, that curation, especially for learning. Maintaining quality with AI-generated lessons, that's going to be Duolingo's big challenge now.
Okay, a new app called Orb from Ookla's ex-CEO.
Right. Ookla, the speed to people.
Yeah. This app aims to give a broader picture of your internet connection, not just speed.
Measuring things like latency, packet loss, jitter, the stuff that really matters for video calls or gaming.
And it uses large language models, LLMs, to give you diagnostics and suggest improvements.
Which could be really useful. As we do more real-time stuff online, those other metrics are way more important than just download speed sometimes.
Yeah.
Using AI for diagnostics could really help users figure out and maybe fix their connection issues.
And sticking with information sources, Wikipedia outlined its AI strategy.
Key point. AI will assist human volunteers, not replace them.
So helping with automation, finding info, translation, getting new people on board.
But the human editors remain crucial for accuracy and neutrality. It's an AI augmentation model.
Which sounds like a potentially sensible approach for collaborative platforms like that.
Definitely. A model worth watching.
All right, let's touch on AI ethics and governance. Anthropic weighed in on those proposed U.S. AI chip export controls.
Yeah, they generally supported the framework, but suggested some tweaks.
Like lowering the number of chips certain countries can buy without review.
Right, and also bumping up funding for enforcement. It shows these regulations are still being actively debated and refined.
It's complex stuff, balancing security with industry needs.
Very complex. Needs careful thought about the technical details and how to actually enforce it.
And finally, on a slightly different note, there was that reported incident, the U.S. president seemingly mistaking text labels for tattoos.
Right. Regardless of the exact details of that specific instance.
It raises broader concerns, doesn't it, about how ready we are for really sophisticated AI fakes, misinformation.
Exactly. It's a reminder that AI-generated content is getting incredibly good. And even things that might seem obvious manipulations could potentially be misleading. It really underscores the need for better media literacy, better tools to spot AI disinformation. It's about protecting ourselves, protecting society.
So looking back at our sources for today, you probably noticed it was very heavily focused on AI.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't actually find any specific space news in the material we looked at this time around.
Which happens sometimes. Developments ebb and flow.
Exactly. But the AI advancements, clearly moving at high speed across so many areas.
So wrapping up, What does all this AI development mean for you? Well, it's clearly changing how businesses run and how we all interact with tech every day.
Yeah, from optimizing cloud servers to creating new learning tools, AI's reach is just expanding constantly.
And while the potential is huge, these questions around privacy, jobs, even just believing what you see online, they're becoming really important things for you to think about.
Our deep dive today really zeroed in on AI. We'd encourage you to think about how these trends might impact your own work, how you get information, how you use technology. The AI landscape is shifting fast, and just staying aware is pretty critical.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As AI gets woven deeper into everything, how does our basic understanding of trust, of verifying information, how does that need to change in a world where fakes can be so convincing? Something to ponder as we navigate all this.